Good morning, class. Let's begin with the topic strategies for procuring the materials. Procuring means acquiring the materials. So, the archaeologist remains or the evidences like the large granaries, a large number of seals, a uniform script, and a regulated weight and measurement they found in the cities like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, and Lothal. It confirmed the view that trade and commerce of the Harappa civilization was in a flourishing state. So variety of raw material, as you can see here, was needed for what? For the craft productions. Raw materials, some raw material you can see they are easily available, and some raw materials they are not easily available. They have to acquire from other places. Okay, as clay it was locally available, but the materials like the stone, the timber, the metal, they had to be acquired outside the alluvial plain. Terracotta, you can see toy models of bullock cart. It suggests that bullock carts served as an important means of transportation across the land route. They were used for carrying the goods from one place to another. It seems that the riverine routes along the Indus and its tributaries and coastal routes were also used for the transportation. Now comes material from the subcontinent and beyond. So you can see the material that have been acquired or obtained from the continents. So the Harappa, they acquired material or they procured material for craft productions from the subcontinent and beyond in a various way. So here you can see two important way of acquiring the material from other places in the subcontinent. So first one is the settlement. So they had established this settlement in the area from where the required raw material could be easily available. So here you can see the example of the Nageshwar and Balakot, okay, where you can see the shell was available. So they produced carnelian, okay, from Gujarat, lapis lazuli from Kashmir and Afghanistan. So they established this settlement in Shortughai in far off Afghanistan as it was near the best source of lapis lazuli, a blue stone. Similarly, you will see Lothal was near the source of carnelian, which is found in Gujarat, statite from the south, Rajasthan and North Gujarat. And then the Harappans, okay, they also sent expedition or they travel into a journey of such places where the raw material are available. So they could procure the raw material. So the main objective of sending such expedition was to establish communications with the local communities. They procured copper from Khetri regions of Rajasthan and gold from South India by sending such expeditions. Probably, transactions were done by the barter system. They would carry their finished good to the neighboring areas by large boats and bullock carts and in exchange would bring metals and other necessary articles. Occasional finds of these artifacts in these area, okay, in these places are the indication of such contact. The archaeologists, they termed the evidences that found in the Khetri area as the Ganeshwar Jodhpur culture. The distinctive pottery of this culture was not like the Harappan pottery. An unusual wealth of copper objects have been found from Khetri. In the opinion of the scholar, perhaps the inhabitants of this region, they supply copper to the Harappans. The evidences that found in Khetri, the archaeologist has given the name of Ganeshwar Jodhpura culture because the pottery that found in this site is distinct from the Harappans. And you can see abundant artifacts in copper that has been found in this place, and they sent this copper to Harappan or Harappa civilization. Contact with distant lands or contacting with outside of the subcontinent. The archaeological find or the evidences, it suggests that the Harappa, it had trade relations with these distant lands. So you can see the scholars, they suggest that the Harappans perhaps also brought copper from Oman. As you can see here, it is on the southeastern tips of the Arabian Peninsula. So they brought copper from Oman. Here you will find the traces of nickel in both. Traces of nickel in both, in Omani copper and in the Harappan artifacts. It suggests their common origins. So if the scholars, they believe that these both cultures, they had a common origin due to the traces of nickels that found in the Omani copper as well as in the Harappan artifacts. Beside this, you can see a distinctive type of vessels. Distinctive type of vessels, a large Harappan jar that is coated with a thick layer of black clay, as you can see here, in order to prevent the percolations of liquid. So it is coated with the black clay in order to prevent the leakage of liquid. It has been found at the Omani sites. The archaeologists are not able to suggest what was carried in these vessels, but it is certain that the Harappan, they exchanged the content of these vessels for the Omani coppers. Mesopotamia text or record, data able to the 3rd millennium BC or 3000 BC, refers that the copper that is coming from Oman or the Magan, the name that is used for Oman. Magan, the name that is used for Oman, and you will find that the enough copper, it was found at Mesopotamia. With it, there was a traces of nickel in the copper. It shows that it had trade with these countries. So Mesopotamia text, it refers to they had the contact with Dilmun, probably the island of Bahrain, Magan, Oman and Mehlua. So which according to some scholars in the ancient name, it is the ancient name that is given to the Indus region. This record mentions the various products such as carnelian, lapis lazuli, copper, gold and varieties of wood that were procured or obtained from Mehlua. So a Mesopotamia myth about Mehlua. May your bird be the Haza bird. May its call be heard in the royal palace. Some archaeologists, they think that the Hasa bird was the peacock. Even Mehlua was referred as a land of farers, okay, or the sailors. So you will see the communications of the Harappan civilizations with Bahrain, Oman and Mesopotamia was by sea. A terracotta model of a ship with a stick impressed, okay, that was found at Lothal. It seems that the external trade, it was generally carried on by ships and boats. Seal making, seals and sealings. The most outstanding artifacts of the Harappan civilization are its seals. Seals and sealings were used to make the long distance communications convenient. The mouth of the bag full of goods was stitched or was tied with rope, and some wet clay was affixed or attached on the knot. Then one or more seals were pressed on it, leaving an impressions. If the bag reached with its sealing intact, it means that it had not been tampered with. It also conveyed the identity of the sender. The seals probably would have been used for religious purposes also. More than 2,000 seals have been procured from the various Harappan sites. They were generally square in shape and made of statite. So, some round seals have been also found. Most of the seals have engraving of unicorn, rhinoceros, ram, tiger and elephant besides small scripts. Some seals bear human and semi-human forms, whereas some show the use of various kind of geometric patterns. So now we talk about the art of writing in enigmatic scripts. Enigmatic here are the mysterious scripts which are yet not deciphered or interpreted. So the Harappan peoples knew the art of writing. Many specimens of Harappan scripts, they have been found on seals, copper tablets, pottery, but unfortunately it has not been deciphered till now. Some scholars connect it to the Dravidian languages, some to Indo-Aryan and Sanskrit, while some other connect it to the Sumerian languages. However, these scripts still remain a mystery. Most of the inscriptions have been found on seals. A large number of them are very small, a group of few letters. A few bear only one single sign. The longest inscriptions, it contained about 26 signs. So here you can see the letters of an ancient signboard. There are about 375 and 400 signs in Harappan scripts. It is a pictography, and each, as you can see here, it's a pictography and each stand for a vowel or a consonant. The Harappan script is not descriptive, it is particularly pictography. It was written from right to left and was an invention of the Harappan themselves. Thus, until we decipher the Harappan script, we are unable to know what language the Harappan spoke and what they wrote. Weight and measures. So weight and measures have been found in large number in the excavations of the various Harappan sites. They include both the heavy weights as well as the small weights. Some of the weights are so small that probably they must have been used by the jewelers and the goldsmiths. The weights are cubical and spherical in shape and were made of chert and jasper. The weight proceeded in a series, first doubling from 1248 to 64 and then going to 160, and from then on in decimal multiplies or multiples of 16, 320, 640, 640, 1600, 3200. So the Harappan were also familiar with the art of measurement. Metal scale pans have been found at Harappa.